Hello and welcome to the Fairy Coach Tarot channel. We are doing a reading for the week. One day late, but from April 21st to April 27th. And it's an interactive reading where you get to choose the deck that you want, and we get a message about your overall energies for the week. Now, I do have to let you know that this is a general reading, so if you want more specific things about your immediate concern or what's going on with your life, you can always make an appointment for a private session online with me, and we can really dig into what's going on in your personal life. Now, for this reading, even if you see it in the future and it's not the week of April 21st to April 27, take what resonates with you. Sometimes we get a message from our spirit guides, from the divine, and it's a message we need to hear. So take what resonates with you. You're here for a reason. All right. So, and please like and subscribe to the channel, because that's the way you can help me as well. So we're going to start with connecting with our breath, as we always do, and then you're gonna pick one of these decks, one of the fairies. We have the pink fairy, the blue fairy, or the yellow fairy. All right, so breathe with me. We're gonna take a deep breath in, all right, through the nose, hold it at the top, and exhale. We inhale through the nose, we hold it, and we exhale, making the exhale longer than the inhale. And that helps us feel more grounded, more calm, and also that's how we connect. So let's do it again, all right? Take a deep inhale in through the nose, hold it for a couple of seconds, and exhale through the mouth. One more time. Inhale through the nose, hold it at the top, and exhale. All right, now pick one of these decks, one of the fairies, the one that calls more to you. Ready? All right. We are going to begin with the pink fairy. And we're going to see what the overall energies are for this week, what messages you get, all right? So there we go. Go through this again. All right. Oops, they are jumpy today, these cards. They are very jumpy. All right, so we have the beginning of the week, the middle of the week, and towards the weekend, right? But here, two cards wanted to come out. So we're gonna look at the overall energy for the beginning of this week. So it would be, today we're already Tuesday all the way to Wednesday. So we got the Seven of Aphemus, that is swords in regular tarot, and it's the number 7, right? So what is this card letting us know? So here, the main energies of the card is to really look at the things that you are focusing on. This is all about your thoughts, is the air element, that is swords, and really, what are you focusing on, right? You need to take inventory of the things that you're thinking, and also perhaps even reframing some of the negative thoughts you're having into something more productive. We attract and manifest with our thoughts as much as with our words and our actions. So this is a time to really focus on what are you thinking about, what are the different thoughts that you're having, and really reframing any negative thoughts. And the ways you get to do that is when you have a negative thought that comes in, and if you also want to investigate if that is your intuition talking or if it's your triggers, right? So it's to take that thought and do some investigative ways, like just if you were trying to detect if something is true or not. So you're going to ask yourself, is this true, right? Or what facts or what things can back up if this thought is true, right? And then if it's your intuition talking, sometimes even if it's something that doesn't make much sense, when we investigate, we can actually see why this thought is, right? So we can actually pinpoint if it's something that it's true, right? So if we have, let's say, a feeling about somebody, right? If it's a negative feeling or if it's a positive feeling, and we're thinking about this person, right? And we're like, why do I think so negatively? Or, why am I having these thoughts? And you investigate and you go back and you say, oh, because this person did this, because I'm noticing a pattern with this person and their behavior or their relationship with me. So this card is telling you this is a time to really investigate your thoughts, to try to reframe them if they are negative, but also to not only reframe them into toxic positivity, but to see, is there any truth in what I'm thinking? All right. Now, for the middle of the week, that would be from Wednesday to Thursday, we got two cards and we got, more Athamas, so more swords. We have the Four of Athamas and the Three of Wands. So here, the message for the middle of your week is, like he's doing. Perhaps it is time not to actually do anything and to rest. So, if at the beginning of the week you've been thinking about all these things that are worrying you, that, and you're trying to reframe some of those thoughts, investigate them, by the middle of the week, it's time to take a rest, to just watch, observe, and rest, but also, keep in mind where you're going. So, in the sense of don't do anything. So it's not to take action, but to kind of assess what do you want in your life and what you do not want in your life, right? So rest, it's not a time for action, but really assess where you're going and balance, do kind of like a pros and cons of things that are worrying you right now or people in your life, and say, does this serve me? Does this serve me for what I want for my life, for where I want to go, right? And now we're going to look at mostly the weekend. So the weekend we got the standing stone, right? And here we've been talking about balance, and this is justice, is all about balance. So the weekend is all about balancing the different aspects of your life, also finding balance and grounding yourself and your energy. If you have here swords, so it's a week where it's dominated by thoughts, right? By that air element, by all this thinking and these thoughts and assessing where your life is going. So the weekend is about, ground yourself, ground your energy, make sure that, you are in alignment, that your energy is flowing well, that you rest, that you are fair in all your dealings. Remember, everything, it's a ripple effect. Everything we put out there comes back to us. So this weekend is also about grounding yourself, finding that balance within your life and within your energies. All right. So a very good reading. We're talking mostly about thoughts here, so it's a week about us doing kind of an assessment of what's in your mind, and then trying to determine, do I want these things in my life or I don't? Are these thoughts that I'm having thoughts that are based on something that is tangible, or I'm just like overthinking things? So a lot of assessing and about your thoughts. And then the weekend, it's telling you, you know what, it's time to ground your energy here in the middle of the week. If you follow the advice of the tarot, you've made a good assessment, and now it's time to ground those energies. All right. If you liked this reading, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. And again, please reach out and make an appointment if you want to go really more in depth about the situation that is in your mind at this time. Now, we're going to go with the second deck. That is the Blue Fairy, right? All right. So again, we're gonna take a card or two, whatever wants to come out for the beginning of the week, the middle of the week, and the end of the week or the weekend. There we go. Oops. Two for the beginning of the week. I have a feeling this one wants to come out for the middle of the week. And here we have the weekend. So let's see what we have. Oh, the beginning of the week. So here this week starts with saying, you know what, there are some chapters that have been closed. There is something, there is an element of like having completed a phase in your life, right? So it's something, spring is a wonderful time here in the Northern Hemisphere. It's when life seems to flourish, nature and everything. So certain things that have happened perhaps in the winter or last year, this is a time to leave them behind, right? To close that circle, to really look at what lessons have I learned from what I have gone through. And it's time to close that, take the lessons with you. See how the things that have happened this past winter or on the past year, how they have shaped you, how they have helped you to evolve. But this is time, and these cards are telling you it's time to close the circle, to say, hey, I'm taking the lessons with me. I've learned a lot, but it's time to leave, the past kind of behind and moving forward, right? And also you have the 10 of Pentacles. So it's a time to close cycles, but in both ways, because you have the World and you have a 10, and and focusing on what you want to manifest from here on, and taking those lessons, the positive of everything that has happened. So taking the positive, but also in a way taking the negative as lessons and moving forward. This is two cards that say time to close cycles, time to, you're starting different phase. And this could be anything. It could be, as I said, this past winter, or the past year that we, or it could be really last week. So it's about really what is something you can leave behind at this time, take the positive, take the lessons, the opportunities, and it's time to close the cycle. Now, the middle of the week, another major arcana card, and yeah, it's you can't really make this up. This is what I love about tarot, is that everything falls into place. So here it's recommending you to close a cycle. You've come to the end of something, move on. And it's interesting because then now in the middle of the week we have the Wheel of Fortune. And what's the Wheel of Fortune? It's change, right? It's a change. It's a change that's coming. It's understanding that everything in life is in constant change. And, we have to take the good, the bad, enjoy when we are up in the wheel, learn from when the wheel turns and we are down. But this is just saying there are changes in the air. And usually the wheel, because there are other cards in the tarot that represent change, and usually it's a change that comes with either pain or hard changes. But the Wheel of Fortune it's a card that represents changes in a positive way, or sometimes even changes that you initiate. So it's a time for change. Embrace the changes that are coming, because you are closing some cycles and some things need to be left behind. And here for the weekend, the Nine of Cups. Oh, look at him. This is like kind of, he got all his wishes. Look at this. So the Nine of Cups tells you about your weekend. That is, it's all about your feelings and emotions. It's the water element, the cups. So enjoy. Try to find what things that you enjoy this weekend. So anything that, just follow that joy. Anything that when you wake up and it's like, what do I really feel like doing? What is like, of everything, all the options that I have available to me, what brings me joy? What keeps my cup filled? Taking care of yourself, following your joy, so it's very positive. It's a very, very positive reading. Again, let's recap. So you're beginning with a very strong message, because we got two cards out about closing cycles, learning lessons, taking the good and taking the good along with you, but making of the bad a lesson that you can take into the future. But it's mostly about closing cycles. Then you're moving into changes, positive changes that are coming. Embrace those changes. Don't be fearful. And then on the weekend, also focus on the joy. Focus on everything that brings you joy, and everything that seems to bring that happiness, not only that joy, that contentment. Make it your GPS for this weekend. So again, I hope you liked the reading. If you take what resonates with you, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And also, again, if you want to go more in depth about your personal situation, I offer online sessions. I do tarot in a way that includes coaching and healing. So it's not so much predictive as it's prescriptive. And, so take what resonates with you, give it a thumbs up, and reach out, and we can look at your specific situation to also bring you more clarity and healing. All right. Now let's go with the last deck. That is the Yellow Fairy. And see what this week brings for you. All right. So we're going to take cards for the beginning of the week. Cards for the middle of the week. Let's see, because I have a feeling something else wanted to come out. Yes. All right. So let's look at the beginning of the week for you. And we have the 10 of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. And what is this week telling us? It's all about something entering your life. We have the 10 of Cups, that it's the accumulation of blessings that you have, and something is entering your life this week. You are being given opportunity, an opportunity that can even feel that comes straight from the divine, straight from spirit, because it's an opportunity that makes you happy. This is like the Holy Grail, right? So what the cards are telling you for the beginning of the week is you have many blessings in your life, and if you happen to be a person that right now is struggling and you're like, oh, well, what do you mean blessings, because I'm struggling? No, dig into your life, because there are blessings, there are things to be grateful for, and it's telling you focus on the gratitude of the good things that you have in your life, because you're going to be presented with new opportunities. And the main message of why it's telling you to focus on gratitude or on the blessings you already have is because when we are focused on negativity, or we are focused on the lack or the things that are missing in our life, we go into this deep spiral that when something good enters, or we're being presented with an opportunity or something, we don't see it. We don't see it because we are so focused on everything that's not working, on everything that's not good, that life, the divine spirit, gives us things and we don't see it. So we miss we miss that opportunity in a way. So that's why the cards are telling you focus on the good, focus on the blessings, and be on the lookout for the opportunities and the good that's coming. Right? And middle of the week, for this week for you, we have the King of Wands. Oh, this King of Wands, fire element, the Wands. And this king is somebody who knows how to manage things in his life, right? And this king is kind of telling you to embody who he is, right? And who is he? He's a king. He knows how to be a leader, how to manage things. And because it's the fire element, and fire is all about passion, this is about, it's time to take the reins, to feel in control of anything that you're passionate about, right? So, if it's work or if it's a project, what can you do to bring it forward, right? Now, if you what your main concern has to do with relationships at this point, so what does this king tell you? How can I manage the situation better? How can I not take, this is about not taking life or whatever concern or whatever is in your mind right now in a passive way, but to be an active participant and to be kind of like this king, a leader on what it is that is in your mind right now. And now let's look at the weekend for you. So, the beautiful Queen of Cups and the Eight of Cups. Oh, this is all about emotions. It sounds like the energies for the weekend are going to be very, very into emotional, perhaps even ups and downs, right? Because this Queen of Cups, she's a deep queen, right? She feels deeply. She's very intuitive, and here she's coupled with the Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Cups is about perhaps walking away from some things, right? So the energies for the weekend are about your emotions, and honestly about tapping into your intuition. Our emotions are sometimes the way, our intuition guides us. So intuition can be also with thoughts, and but sometimes we can feel it in the heart, in the gut, and it's how. So really pay attention how you're feeling about things, right? If you're in a crossroads, or if you do not know what to do, take a deep breath and think about the options in front of you, right? And then see, just thinking about each one, listen to your body. How does your body feel about each option that is available to you? And that's what it means when you follow that intuition through an emotional lens, right? And but it's coupled with the Eight of Cups. So here there is an action that needs to be taken, that it's kind of telling you, leave behind what doesn't serve you, leave behind what hurts you. Honestly, when something hurts us emotionally, it messes up with first with our energy, but then it can manifest into physical illnesses. So this is whatever is hurting you, it's time to put it behind you and leave it behind. And sometimes it can be hard because they are relationships, right? Or people that we care for. But it's time to say, hey, I choose me. I choose to be healthy. I choose to focus on the cups that are standing up, the good things in my life. And if something is not adding good in my life, it's time to leave it behind. All right, let's recap how you need to focus on the blessings at the beginning of the week and be on the lookout for an opportunity, something that's going to be presented. Then in the middle of the week, it's time also to manage, be like this king, be a leader in whatever situations you feel your energy is in. They are your concern. And on the weekend is about listening to your intuition through your feelings, through your emotions, and putting behind what doesn't serve you. Again, I hope you like this. Please take what resonates, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. I try to put at least weekly videos, if I can more than one, and the way I do tarot is tarot with coaching and healing. So you can please send me a DM or you can go on my website and either by email or by phone contact me, and we can make an appointment for a private online session and look at your specific situation. I hope you all have a fantastic week, and please remember to be kind to yourself, and brightest blessings. Bye.